top two move on.
One versus four, two versus three.
Yep.
Okay, good afternoon, bowling fans, and welcome to Chackos Family Bowling Center here in Wilkes-Barre, PA, for the finals of the first adult junior of the PJBT season. In just a moment, we're going to introduce our four remaining teams in each division. We're going to have two semifinal matches at the same time, and then the winners will bowl each other for the title. Okay, we'll be introducing our bowlers momentarily. Bear with me as I'm going solo today, so I will introduce the bowlers and give you some info once we get them on the lanes for practice.
Matt, is this a YouTube or a PJBT Facebook? YouTube?
Look at the runs that way, harder.
All right, good afternoon, bowling fans, and welcome to Chackos Family Bowling Center for the finals of our first adult junior of the PJBT season, our third event. We're down to the final four teams in each division. We will have two semifinal matches, the 1 seed versus the 4 seed, and the 2 seed versus the 3 seed. It will bowl one game head-to-head, single elimination, and the two teams who win those semifinal matches will go to the opposite pair and bowl each other in a one-game match for the title. Okay? But everybody in this round cashes in today's tournament. All right, time to introduce our four remaining teams in each division. Starting in the scratch division, our number 4 seed team is Blaze Denny and Miles Garland. Our number 3 seed team is Brendan and Cameron Weber. In the first semifinal, Brendan and Cameron will take on our number 2 seeds, Landon Freeman and Cody Brunner. And in the other semifinal match, our number 4 seeds, Denny and Garland, will take on our tournament leaders at plus 452 for 7 games is Van Jones and Eric Boyd. All right, now it's time to introduce our handicap finalists. Our number 4 seed team is Liana and Chris Lucchese. Our number 3 seed team is Ella Kreiser and Dan Fitzgerald. In the first match, Ella and Dan will take on our number 2 seeds, Vinny and Nicole Pacillo. And the Lucchese's will take on our tournament leaders at plus 245 for 7 games, Kira and Greg Stohora. Bowling fans, let's everybody say it for
Order number 14. Your order's ready. 14.
Okay, so.
Yeah, I would ask the counter for something.
Is it bad?
Right on the live stream. YouTube.
Put that in later, I guess. Final.
Order number 15, your order's ready. 15.
Fitzgerald.
Okay, bowling fans, we are about ready to begin our semifinal matches, 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3. And then the winners will bowl each other for the title. All right, bowling fans, I will be jumping in here for play-by-play, but time to introduce our finalist teams as we begin the semifinal matches.
it up. Here we go.
Okay, bowling fans, I will be in the booth in just a second. Okay, our semifinal matches are underway. Let's start with the scratch side. It looks like Van Jones went split first. His partner Eric Coy with a strike. Blaze with a strike. Miles with a 9 spare. Landon Freeman gets a strike. First shot. Brendan Wegert light 210. So let's see what happens there. Over on the handicap side, Kieran and Greg off to a quick start with 2 strikes. Liana with a 9 spare. Chris with a split in the first frame. Cody Brunner on interesting lead, leaves the 3-9-10. First shot for Ella Kreiser. She gets a strike. Once again, our brackets are on the website, our scoring system, tournamentbowl.com. So if you want to check out the results from today's event, Cody Brunner with a nice 3-9-10 conversion there to give his team an early lead. Danny Fitzgerald, first shot for him, comes up light, 2-4-5. Cameron Wegert leaves a 10-pin. Nicole Pacillo and Vinny both go 9 spare in the first frame. Plays Denny with a strike to start the second. That gives him a double. Danny able to convert his spare. So pretty even match there for the first frame. Miles Garland, strike in the second. So double and 20 for them. Liana Lucchese with a strike in the second. So she starts with spare strike. Van Jones gets a strike, so he follows up the opening split with a strike. Kira Stahora does the same, gets a double to start the match. Brandon Wegert comes in a little bit high, leaves a 9-pin. Chris Lucchese, a little bit light, 2-pin. Meanwhile, Eric Coy with a double to start the match. Double for Landon Freeman, and same for Greg Stahora. As you'll notice, we get a lot of strikes today, as this was our first recreational pattern event of the season. We were bowling on lithium today, which lithium is one of the, I don't want to say easier recreational patterns, but obviously any recreational pattern is similar to a modified house shot. Vinny comes in a little bit light, leaves the 2-8. Ella tries her up in the second. She comes in light, leaves the 5-7. See if she can make that. Meanwhile, Kobe Brunner gets a strike, so our lane 38 had a perfect frame. Second frame, all strikes. Cameron with a spare. Scratch division has completed 2 frames. Then he picks up a spare, so back-to-back spares for him. Meanwhile, Ella to convert the 5-7. Let's see if she can convert. And she does! What a great shot. Gets the 5 to slide over into the 7. Good conversion there. 20 in the first for her. Denny leaves a 9-pin to start the third frame. Van Jones, and also a 9 count, 3-pin. Cello with a strike in the second. Meanwhile, Danny Fitzgerald up in the second. High flush strike. He matches his opponent, 20 in the first. Back on the scratch side, both bowlers get a spare to start the third. Miles Garland. Perfect shot, stone 7. Fast 7 there, 9 count. Handicap starts the third frame. Liana leaves a 10-pin, pretty good shot. Eric Coy. 3 in a row for Eric. Miles picks up his spare, 40 in the second for him. Kira Stewart with a triple. So Kira and Greg, tournament leaders going into this semifinal match, back on track with 5 out of 5 for the team. Liana picks up her spare, 40 in the second for her. Brendan comes in light, leaves the 2-8, so he's still looking for his first strike of the match. Landon Freeman makes it 3 in a row with a strike in the third. We started the day with 29 teams, 58 bowlers. Greg goes pocket 7-10 miss, so 8 miss, 54 in the third. Lucchese gets a spare, 9 spare. Same thing for Cody Brunner. We finish the third frame on the scratch side, and our matches are about even at the moment. I'd say Landon and Cody have a little lead in their match. Then he gets a strike in the third, so he's got 38 in the second. Ella with a strike in the third. She matches Vinny. She's at 40 in the second. Good start for her. Van Jones with a strike in the fourth. Blaze Denny comes in high. 3-6-10. Nicole Pacillo leaves the 2-7. She'll try to convert that. Eric Coy with 4 in a row. Danny Fitzgerald with a strike in the third. Nicole gets one, so she'll be at 48 in the third. Back on the scratch side. Landon Freeman with the front four. He gets a strike. Kira Stahora, the same thing. 4 in a row. Blaze Denny was able to convert his spare. Let's see. Miles Garland gets a strike, so spare strike, spare strike. He's at 60 in the third. Liana cut that one a little bit short, but she's going to get away with it. A crossover strike. She has 60 in the third. Cody Brunner, a fast 5. It's interesting. 2, 4, 5, 7, 8. So they'll try to convert.
It's like a slice.
Breaks to World with a strike. Brendan Weggert, the same thing. So we got a bunch of strikes going on the board here as we are finishing up frame 4, starting frame 5. Vinny got a spare, Cole gets a strike. Miles Garland now with a double. Van Jones has a double. Eric Coy looking for the front 5 here. So we finished frame 4 on the handicap side. Danny with a 9 spare. Ella with a strike. Front 4 still for Kira Stahora. On the scratch side, Eric Coy gets 9 spare in the 5th, ending his streak at 4. Liana with a strike and a double. Landon Freeman, front 4, looking for front 5. Meanwhile, Weggert's post strike. Perfect frame on the right lane. As Blaze gets a strike, Miles gets a double. Landon Freeman comes in high, crosses over, and gets a strike. So that's the front 5 for him. He'll take that. Interesting carry there. Van Jones will start frame 6 on the scratch side. And he gets a strike and a triple. Kira Stahora, front 5 for her as she strikes. Chris Lucchese gets his first strike of the match. Cody Brunner with a strike, 75 in the 4th for him. So again, you're watching the semifinal matches for our first adult junior of the season. We are up north today at Chackos Family Bowling Center here in Wilkes-Barre. Our one trip to Chackos besides our championship weekend.
We will be back here again Memorial Day weekend in 2025 with the Pro Bowlers from the PBA. This year we'll be joined by Parker Bone III and many other PBA professionals back here in the Wilkes-Barre area to finish off season 26 of the BJBT. A long way off, but we will be back here in Wilkes-Barre. Okay, a couple of strikes on the handicap side. Vinny Pacillo leaves a 4-pin while Ella gets another strike. So big game for Ella. She's got 3 in a row going, 4 out of 5. Vinny picks up his spare, so 77 in the 4th for him. Back on the scratch side, Miles Garland with a fast 7 once again. So every time he doesn't strike, it seems like it's a fast 7 for him. Meanwhile, Jones, Coy, Landon Freeman, all with strikes. Nicole Pacillo gets a double, so she's trying to pick Vinny up a little bit here. Starting frame 6 on the handicap side. We are in frame 6 on the scratch side. Cody Brunner with a double. Perfect frame for them on that lane. Kira with a strike, front 6 for Kira Stahora. She is on a roll. Brendan Wegert comes in high, leaves a 9-pin. Liana sets up the strikes. 3 in a row for Liana Lucchese. So they're trying to keep pace. Denny with a strike, that's a triple for him. Brendan picks up his spare, 96 in the 5th for him. So again, these scratch matches pretty tight at the moment, halfway through. Breaks to Hora, goes light, leaves a 2-pin. So he'll try to pick up the spare there. Meanwhile, Chris Lucchese, he goes high flush 10 back, giving him a double. So again, if our message board is up and operational, tell us who out there you are rooting for. Feel free to post on our message board. Stahora picks up the spare, 103 in the 5th with a spare for him. Cameron Wigger leaves a 5-pin. I believe that's a 5-pin. So he'll try to convert the spare. Right now, Landon and Cody with the lead in that match. The other match pretty even. Ella Kreiser comes in a little bit light, 2-4-8. So she'll try to convert her spare there. Meanwhile, Vinny Pacillo with a strike in the 6th. 97 in the 5th for him. So a little over halfway through our semifinal matches. Again, the names on the board you're seeing, opponents are across from each other. So the top 2 are against each other on each side, and then the bottom 2 are bowling against each other. Nicole Pacillo with 3 in a row for her. Ella not able to convert her spare. 123 in the 6th for her. See if Danny can pick her up here. Pretty good mixer. He's got a double. And Jones with a strike in the 7th. That gives him 4 in a row. Blaze and Miles already both struck. Brendan Wegert rather, comes in light, 1-2-10. And a light mixer for Liana Lucchese. She's got 4 in a row. Eric Coy comes in high flush, trips out the 4, but leaves the 9 wiggling. Kira comes in light, leaves the 4-8. Good run for her. Front 6 on this game. Brendan not able to convert his spare on the scratch side. So 122 in the 7th for him. We've got 32 viewers out there. Tell your friends. Tune in for the PJBT finals today. This is our semifinal matches. 2 winners of these semifinals will bowl each other in a 1-game match for the title. Kira not able to convert her spare, so 176 in the 7th for her. See if Chris can make it 3 in a row here for him. And he does with a light mixer. Meanwhile, on the scratch side, Cameron Wegert leaves a 10-pin. Landon Freeman, front 7. Front 7 for Landon Freeman.
Matt, that was absolutely atomic.
Yeah. Hey, whatever works. Wegert with the spare. So Landon and Cody have the lead in that match. The other match, pretty equal. So we'll see where that goes. Cody comes in high, 3-6. Greg leaves a 4-pin on 35. Ella Kreiser, she came in a little bit inside target. Ball faded a little bit, leaves a 2-4-5, so she'll try to pick up the spare. Greg picks up his spare. Cody picks up his spare, 123 in the 6th for him. Scratch division starts the 8th frame. Van Jones with a good shot leaves a 7-pin. Ella gets 1, so 131 in the 7th for her. Vinny with a high flush strike. So that's 2 double for Vinny. Blaze Denny looking for 4 in a row. And he gets it with a strike in the 8th. So, scratch side, Blaze Denny, max score 266. Miles Garland, max score 249. So they can still shoot in the 500s. Van Jones with his spare can shoot 238. His opponent can shoot 259. So they can almost shoot 500. So, Garland with a strike in the 8th. Both Danny and Nicole, Danny Fitzgerald and Nicole Pacillo get strikes in the 7th. So we start the 8th frame. Liana Lucchese looking for 5 in a row. She comes up high, leaves a 3-6-10. Eric Coy with a strike in the 8th. Kira Stahora up in the 8th. And she gets a strike. Late falling 7. Brendan Wegert comes in light, or high rather, 310 baby split. So this semifinal match is starting to drift away as Landon Freeman has the front 7. Liana able to pick up her spare, 167 in the 7th for her. Front 8 for Landon Freeman. Brendan gets 1, so 131 in the 8th for him. Landon and Cody with strikes in the 8th. Kira and Greg also struck in the 8th. Now Chris Lucchese comes in high, leaves the 4-7-10. Not what he was looking for there, so he'll try to get count. 202. So 152 in the 8th for him. Vinny leaves a 10 pin in the 8th. Plays Denny, goes in light, 2-8. So he'll try to pick up the spare. Opening for Van Jones here in the foundation 9th frame. And he gets a strike in the 9th, so that's a big shot for their team. They can still shoot 490. Then he picks up his spare. Blaze is not able to convert as it hooks, so he's at 202 in the 9th. Ball change for Ella Kreiser, and she gets a strike in the 8th. So that's a good shot, good adjustment. Eric Coy, big shot in the 9th. High flush, trips out to 4. And now they are even. So big shot here now for Miles Garland. Nicole with a 2 count in the 8th. Garland comes in high flush, leaves a 4-9. Oof. Meanwhile, Danny Fitzgerald, good shot. He's a 10 pin. So he'll try to convert. Convert the spare, so 150 in the 7th with a spare for her. She's got a big game for her going. Danny not able to convert his 10 pin, so 176 in the 8th for him. Blaze and Miles both open in the 9th, so they are on the scoreboard with 387. Max score now 447 for them. Landon Freeman's streak of 8 ends with a 3-6 lead. Brendan gets a strike in the 9th. Paris DeWara leads the 5-10. That's a tough lead for a right-hander. She'll probably have to get one. Meanwhile, Liana, she comes in high flush, 4-10. Stahora gets one, so she'll be at 204 in the 9th. Liana, she gets one. She'll be at 194 in the 9th. On the scratch side, Brendan gets a strike. Cameron with a 9 count. Landon goes 8 spare. 6 count for Cody Brunner. So for the scratch side, we're going to start the 10th frame in just a moment. And what I can tell you is the second match, it looks like Freeman and Brunner are going to advance as they have a big lead in their match. But the first match, the 1 versus 4, is pretty even at the moment. So Cody goes 6 miss, 165 in the 9th, but they're already in the driver's seat. A little bit more working. So the big match on the scratch side in the 10th frame is Jones Coy. See if they get an opportunity. Jones comes in high, leaves a 4 pin. He was very fortunate there. Meanwhile, scratch side, Stahora with a strike. Lucchese also with a strike. Leaves a 7 pin. Van picks up the spare. Ella comes in line, 4 pin. See if she can convert. Blaze Denny must have it. Gets a strike. So right now Van Jones can shoot 218. His partner, Eric Coy, can shoot 259. That would put him in 470 range. And that would shut their opponents out. Their opponents, Blaze Denny, 230, can only shoot 440 at the moment. Okay, Van Jones finishes with 216. Handicap side, Ella not able to convert her spare, 159 in the ninth for her. Let's see if Danny can pick her up here. High flush, leaves a 4-pin. Eric Coy, high flush, 4-9. So with a chance to shut them out, now, all of a sudden, the first scratch match still has a match. Because, let's see, if Eric would get one, that would give him 225. That would put him at 441. Opponents can shoot in the 440s. So Blaze with a double, Blaze with a strike. So he's going to give them a chance with 232. Eric basically just needed a mark. Casey with a strike to start the 10th frame on handicap. Let's see what Eric can do here. He gets one, so they will shoot 225 and 441, as I mentioned. So now Miles Garland needs to finish with 210 or better to win, so he's going to need a double. Miles Garland needs a double for their team to advance. On the handicap side, first shot of the 10th for Kira. She leaves a 10-pin. Let's see what Miles does here. They need a double to win. Miles comes in high. Casey finishes with 214. Good game for her. Kira Stahoris also going to have an amazing game. She's going to finish with 223 with a 9 count. Miles Garland will finish out 203.
We'll see.
Final score for our first semifinal in Scratch will be decided by just 6 pins, 441 to 435. And then we have Landon Freeman shooting 278, and his team will advance to the title match. Freeman and Brunner. So our 1 and 2 seeds on the scratch side will advance. Now let's go to the handicap side. So right now 380 on the board for the Lucchese's, 365 on the board for the Stahoras. Greg comes in light, leaves a 2-pin. So he can max it 211. That would give him 430. So the handicap may be the difference in this match, as the Lucchese's still have a chance. Landon Freeman 278, Cody 173. So they finish with 451 en route to victory. Brendan Weger finishes with 170. Okay. So with the handicap, it looks like the Lucchese's with that last strike from Chris will advance. The 4 seed will knock off the 1 seed in this match. They will shoot 437 and just have enough to get the victory. So 437 for the Lucchese's to 433 for the Stahoras. Wow, what a match.
Yeah, he needed 2.
2-2-3. Okay, so that takes care of our 1. Okay. Ella and Vinny both with strikes in the first ball of the 10th. Final score on the scratch side, 451 to 361. In our other semifinal, Ella gets a double, so that's a big shot for her there. Vinny not able to convert his spare, so he'll shoot 204. So their max score at the moment would be 204 plus 207. They'd be at 411. Danny will probably have to strike out to give them a chance. But Ella finishes strong with 3 strikes in the 10th. That will give them an opportunity here to win. Six count for Nicole Pacillo. Danny has to strike. He does not. It will be around 400. So I think it comes down to whether Nicole converts his spare or not. This is a really close match. She does not convert. She gets 3. So that gives them 406. And Danny strikes out. It would be 404. So the Pacillos do have enough to advance. The Pacillos will take that semifinal match, but very, very close.
Yeah.
So the 406 to 404. 2-pin victory for the Pacillos. So that was an exciting match that came down to the end. So in the handicap side, our 2 seed and 4 seed will advance to bowl each other for the title. All right, so let's give out some awards and then we'll move on to our title matches. So stay tuned. You are watching the PJBT live on YouTube. We'll be back with the finals in just a little bit.
Good luck.
So.
I don't know. I paid for the time. I think it told me to like 3 months
One in the
I think he shot 3. Yeah, I think he shot 300 over there.
where he hit pins.
I think it's
Okay, bowling fans, time to get our awards going. Semifinals of today's BJBT here at Chackos Family Center in Wilkes-Barre. Officially, our fourth place finishers in the scratch division. The youth bowler getting a $60 scholarship and award. The adult bowler a $60 payout. Goes to the team of Blaze Benny and Miles Gardaway.
I spent 10 hours of my day for $60.
Officially, our third place finisher in the scratch division. Youth bowler getting a $60 scholarship and award. The adult bowler a $60 payout. Goes to the team of Brendan and Cameron Weber.
It's been a mystery for it's been a mystery for since I was
Today on the left side, officially our fourth place finisher, receiving a $60 scholarship and $60 award, and the adult bowler a $60 payout. Goes to the team of Ella Chrysler and Katie Carroll.
look lanes and crappy bowling. Guys, be safe. Guys, be safe.
And officially our third place finisher in the handicap division. The bowler getting a $60 scholarship and award, the adult bowler a $60 payout. Goes to the team of Kira and Greg Sculora.
Jackson.
Good luck. See you guys. Bye.
I will have a great family dinner.
Great bowling, Kira. You were awesome today.
Thank you.
Good bowling, Greg.
Good ball, Greg.
Hey, awesome bowling.
Good luck.
Thank you, thank you. Emergency exit.
order a cup of water or a bottle of water. Where's my
Okay, while our bowlers are warming up for the title matches, just a reminder, PJBT picks up again next Sunday. Next Sunday is our first 21 and under doubles event of the season. But also, don't forget, girls, next Sunday is our first singles women's only tournament within the tournament. So you enter the doubles tournament, you can pay just $20 and get in the women's tournament. And we will have separate scholarship list of prizes for that. And the $20 you pay all goes toward the prize fund. So make sure you get a partner and sign up in advance for next Sunday's doubles event. We'll be at Haja Rose Bowl in Allentown. The following Sunday, September the 29th, we'll have our Super Match Play singles event. We'll be at Valero Easter Lanes in Reading, PA, starting at 10 a.m. And the following Sunday, first Sunday in October, I believe it's the 6th, we'll be at Valero Berks Lanes for our next adult junior event of the season, second adult junior, starting at 10 a.m. Lots of side action like we had today. And the following Sunday, I believe it's October 13th, we will be at, for the first time ever, we'll be at Bardon Lanes in Easton for our 3-person team tournament. And that'll start at 10 a.m. on Sunday, October the 13th. So flyers for these events are all online at our website, pjbtbowlingseries.com, and you can also sign up online for any events coming up on the schedule.
Oh, I found it.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, you're right. It's going over here.
Cheese 52.
Yeah, don't put that right beside.
31. 31 goes the Chuckers.
No, I can't take a drink or anything. Just come bring it. Yeah. Oh no.
I can't help it.
Okay, bowling fans, it is time to begin our title matches for today's DJBT. On the scratch side, 1 seed Van Jones and Eric Boyd taking on number 2 seed Landon Freeman and Toby Burke. Dan and Eric have elected to start the match on the right lane. On the handicap side, we have number 2 seed Vinny and Nicole Pachilla taking on number 4 seed Liana and Kristen Casey. Vinny and Nicole have elected to start the title match on the right lane also. In their match, the difference in handicap is 31 going to Pachilla. All right? Bowling fans, let's have a nice hand for our title matches.
Yeah, he don't need that.
Man, you're old too. Like second oldest still alive.
Order number 18, your order's ready. 18.
Theory, yes. Down here, 1 by 2, because I did the difference. Right, okay. So that's correct. Okay. All right, title matches are underway. And Landon and Cody, spare strike. Van and Eric start with strikes. Handicap side, Casey start with 2 strikes. Vinny Pacillo goes 9 spare. Oh, goes 7 spare. That's not right. No, it's not right because it shows the stupid minutes. That's not right. Hold on. 6 leaves the bucket. 2, 4, 5, 8. Vinny gets another spare. And Mom Nicole gets a strike, so she's got 20 in the first. Okay, so we're finishing up the third frame here. Koi comes in light, 2-5. Then he picks up his spare, 3 spares in a row for him. Eric picks up the spare.
Still bouncing, Eric.
So both Liana and Chris both open in the second. Nicole gets 7, so she'll try to pick up the spare. Dan Jones with a 10 pin. Landed with a double. 2-8 count. 2-8 count of the 2-8 lead for Chris Lucchese. Nicole not able to pick up her spare. She's at 48.
Order number 19. Your order's ready. 19.
Dan Jones picks up his spare. So Cody Brunner with a strike has a front 4 in the title match. Vinny Cucillo trips out the 4, gets his first strike in the match, as Liana struck in the 4th also. So an early lead for the Pachillos in this match. Scratch side, Eric Coy went wide, leaves the 1-2-8, so he'll try to pick up the spare. Right now, Landon and Cody have the lead in the match. Nicole Pachillo leaves the 4-7-10. Meanwhile, Chris Lucchese leaves a makeable 2-4, which he makes. Landon with a strike in the 5th, so triple for Landon. So Landon and Cody have the lead in the match. Halfway through, we are watching the title matches for today's PJBT. Dan picks up his spare, so 65 in the 4th for him. Once again, viewers, you're watching title match for today's PJBT. Tell your friends to tune in. See who wins the first adult junior of the season. Cody Brunner with a strike, front 5. Liana Lucchese with a strike, making it a double. Vinny with a light pocket shot leaves the 8-10. Meanwhile, Eric Coy comes high flush, leaves a 4-9. So tricky shot there. And he picks up his spare. Meanwhile, Van Jones follows it up with a light 210. And our tournament leaders are in a little bit of trouble here on the scratch side. Meanwhile, Chris Lucchese, trick 4, gets a strike in the 5th. Eric not able to convert, so 91 in the 5th for him. Vinny with an open in the 5th, so he's got 86. Nicole Pacillo. Eight count. Landon with a strike, so 4 in a row for Landon Freeman. Cole picks up the spare. Eric Coy with a strike. So Jones and Coy on the rails right now as Landon Freeman and Cody Brunner have the strikes going. Cody Brunner makes it 6 in a row with a strike. They are in the driver's seat right now. Wow, Pacillo with a strike in the 6th. Good shot here now for Leon as she can get a triple. And she trips it all out. 4, 5, 7, all go. So a triple for Liana Lucchese, and that will put them back in the match. Meanwhile, Jones and Coy can't buy a break as he leaves a 7-pin. Cody Brunner makes it front 7. And very soon, they're going to be locking out their opponents. Nicole Pacillo is the 1-2-4. Let's see if Chris can follow up with a double. He does with a strike. So big double for Chris Lucchese. Nicole picks up her spare. So on the scratch side match is pretty much wrapped up. Let's go to the handicap side. Liana Lucchese with 4 in a row after Vinny gets a 9 spare. So this handicap match is now tightening up. The Pacillos had a big lead, but with the Pacillos, with the Lucchese's rather striking in the last 3 frames, it's a shot for them to take the lead here late in the match. Cole gets an 8 count. Meanwhile, Cody Brunner on the scratch side, front 8. Landon and Cody have pretty locked up the match and the title for today. But let's see if Cody can finish off the front 8. Chris Lucchese with a strike. There's a Van and Eric both struck in the 8th. Van strikes in the 9th. Try to make it a respectable finish here. Landon comes in light 2-8. So he'll try to pick up the spare. Meanwhile, Nicole Pacillo picks up her spare, 92 in the 6th. Vinny in the 8th. He gets a strike, so 126 in the 7th for him. Landon able to pick up the spare, so Landon can finish with 246 yet. And Cody with the front 8. Liana's string ends at 4. She leaves the 1-2. She'll try to pick up the spare. Coy leaves a... That was a 4-pin. Yeah. We'll get that 4-pin set back up. There we go. Meanwhile, Liana. Chris with a strike in the 8th. That's a big one after Liana picked up her spare. Cody Brunner with the front 9. So they've already clinched the title. Landon Freeman and Cody Brunner will be our scratch division champions for today. But let's see if Cody can finish off the day with perfection. Meanwhile, Vinny comes in high, leaves a 3-pin. Mom Nicole leaves 6-10. So Van Jones will finish with 189. Nicole picks up her spare. Vinny does the same. And Landon Freeman will finish with 243.
Hey, good game.
Liana leaves a 10-pin. She'll try to convert. Cody Brunner, front 10. Front 10. If you're not watching, tune in here. We have Landon Freeman and Cody Brunner have already clinched the scratch division title for today, but Cody Brunner trying to finish off perfection as he has the front 10. He's up for the 11th shot. And he gets it. Front 11 for Cody Brunner. So one more strike for perfection. We had one 300 game earlier today from an adult bowler. Coy finishes off with 220. Their team will finish with 409. But Landon and Cody will be in the 540s. As let's see if he can get perfection. And there it is, a perfect 300 game for Cody Brunner. Perfect 300 game To finish off the victory for today, Scratch Division Final 543 to 409. 543 to 409. And Cody Brunner with a perfect 300 game to finish off today's tournament. Nothing like perfection on live stream TV. Meanwhile, handicap side match is not over yet. So Liana can shoot 214. Chris can strike out for 237. Nicole not able to convert, so 138 in the ninth for them. There's a strike for Vinny. It does look like the Casey's are in the lead in the match. But anything can happen yet, as we saw in the first matches.
It's quite unfortunate.
Vinny finishes with 185. Mom can shoot 168. So max score would be 3 in the 380s for that. So Liana needs to get count here, which she does. So she finishes with 193. Scratch. Pretty much, Chris needs to keep the ball in the lane here to take home the victory for the Lucchese's. Cole not able to get the shot she needed.
People don't know how to spell ice.
And let's see what happens here. That strike will lock it up. Liana and Chris Lucchese come from the 4th seed spot to take home the title. Nicole Pacillo makes the 5-10 split. Impressive shot there. Big finish there for Chris Lucchese as he shoots 237. So they will win with 430 on the scoreboard. And the Pacillos, she finishes with a strike. They will finish with 374. So final score 430 to 374. The Lucchese's take the title in handicap. Okay, so that's going to do it. Time to give out some final awards, and then we will wrap up the show. So stay tuned. You are watching the PJBT live on YouTube. Stay tuned for our final awards.
This lane was like rolling around carpet.
My couple dollars.
Chackos Family Bowling Center in Wilkes-Barre, sponsored today by PBA.com. Our runner-up finishers in the scratch division. The youth bowler receiving a $100 scholarship. Becoming a man award, the youth bowler a $100 payout. Those are the team of Van Jones and Eric Roy.
That stays in there. I'll probably go right to the white. I'll make.
Okay, our runner-up finishers in the handicap division. The youth bowler getting a $100 scholarship and award. The adult bowler a $100 payout. Those are the team of Vinny Pacillo and Nicole Pacillo. All right, now it's time to crown our champions in the scratch division. Starting with the adult, receiving a $200 cash payout, and the first place acrylic, or the first place black, shooting a perfect 300 game on live stream, goes to Cody Brunner.
And he was not in the 300 pot.
And Cody's partner, our new champion, receiving a $200 scholarship. Taking it in the first place Cody black, goes to Landon Freeman. Okay, now for our handicap champion. For the adults, receiving a $200 cash payout, and the first place black, with the winner going to Chris Lucchese. And our new champion, handicap division, receiving a $200 scholarship. Taking it in the first place acrylic black, goes to Liana Lucchese.
Just over here. Sorry, I had to grab my phone. Okay, bowling fans, that's going to do it for today's PJBT here at Chackos Family Bowling Center in Wilkes-Barre. Tune in next Sunday for the finals of the 21 and under doubles event. We will be at Haja Rose Bowl in Allen.